What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday. We are back once again with another episode of Comic Collector Origins. And man, I think we're on episode 48 right now. We're getting close to that big 50 marker, which is pretty cool, halfway to 100. And hey, take a moment, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. My name is Justin, aka No Good Comics. If you don't know me, definitely having a lot of fun here on YouTube and over on Instagram. I had just hit a 750 subscribers here on YouTube. If you guys didn't see that, I did a giveaway. I'm doing a giveaway. It's in process right now, so you can go enter. Make sure you do so because you have a couple more days left. I think the cutoff day is Sunday, tomorrow, 6 o'clock Eastern. If you haven't entered to that already, so that's on my channel, and I'll be going live on Monday to kind of go off and share. We'll do a drawing of who did that giveaway. But I just want to say thanks to everybody again for helping and supporting this channel and everything that I've been doing, and people have been awesome here, and especially you guys know how much I love my Comic Collector Origins show here. It's just been incredible meeting all the different individuals from the comic book community. If you're new to this and you're not familiar with this show is all about the community. It is where I bring people on and interview them, people from the comic book community, and interview them and ask them questions about their origin story, how they first got started, what their first appearance was at a local comic shop or a Comic-Con, hearing all these really cool background stories as to how they got to where they are today. So it's just been an incredible journey. I say this every time, but I truly have made some really amazing friends through this process, and so I'm excited to bring these people forward to anyone who hasn't met them yet or hasn't been following them. So this particular episode just it adds on to some amazing people that I've met through this community, and this individual who's my guest for today, I've known him. I've certainly been following him since the beginning of when I got onto Instagram and slowly started watching more YouTube channels and things like that. And we're talking almost 3 years ago. I think August is going to be my 3-year anniversary for really getting into comics and collecting and starting an Instagram and all this stuff. So this individual that's my guest today, he was one of the first, to really kind of show me the way, even before we knew each other, just, watching his content and putting things out there. Some of you know him very well. Some of you may not know him, as he has taken a little bit of a break from comic collecting and putting out content on a regular basis for YouTube. But if you haven't already reached out to Matt, aka TheBoyWhoHad7, I highly recommend it. So let me bring my boy Matt in here right now, and let's get this thing started. Matt, what is going on, brother?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great, man. So thanks so much for taking some time to jump on the show with me.
Yeah, for sure. I thought I'd put my hat backwards just like you.
I dig it, man. I dig it.
Be cool.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. So what is up, man? How's life?
It is good, man. It is busy as can be, but I'm so happy this Saturday morning to be hanging out with you, man. Finally, I'm on your channel.
Yes.
And I am flattered by the words that you said. So thanks for having me on. I'm excited to hang out.
Heck yeah, man. Absolutely. And anybody who's watching right now, or if you're watching, whether you're live or if you're watching in the replay, I put Matt's information in the description below. So if you're not already subbed up, or if you're not following him over on Instagram, make sure you do that. If you're looking to talk comic books, DM him over on Instagram. Matt's always been, open to hanging out and helping wherever he can. So Matt, I know you've done that so much for me, and, some of the content. And I mentioned that, and we'll get into details, or we'll explain some stuff later, but I know you've taken a break from kind of the YouTube content portion of the community, as I know it certainly takes a lot of time, or requires a lot of time, I should say, normally. So I totally get it. But yeah, so before we get into all the fun and the questions, I want to jump into the chat real quick, say a quick hello to the chat, because I see we got a good amount of people hanging out here, and some people that were tailgating early. So let's say a quick hello here. We got Brandon, Comics Kings, hanging out with us. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, just had a big win for Matt. Matt just had a big win from Comics Kings when me and John were doing our Omni X-Men. And Matt, you were the winner to that, dude. You just opened that up, huh? You just
opened it up, man, right before this, and I'm blown away by the generosity. Newsstand.
That's beautiful, dude.
Awesome,
I love
man.
that.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, and
man.
On your show too. So if you guys weren't doing it, I wouldn't have this book,
True. Oh man, so nice. And a 9.6, man. 9.6 is what it is. That's
crazy nice.
Yep, great cover. We got Travis TM Nerdy in the house station, brother. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. We got my buddy Michael Sove Collector. It was just his birthday a couple days ago, so happy birthday again.
Happy birthday.
Hope everything's good. We got Cookie, just a little podcast with us as well. Hello, hello. Jason Claiming Comics in the house. Jason just stopped over at Zap and got your package, dude. Thank you so much for he had given me a couple extra books to contribute to my giveaway for Monday.
Nice.
And he also threw in a trade, which I didn't open it yet, so I don't know what the trade is, but he said the trade's for me, and he said that I have to have a glass of whiskey while reading this trade. I don't know what trade it is, but I'll find out soon. We got JP in the house. What's going on, JP? Interesting that Justin is having a new guy. Yes, exactly. Completely unknown.
He's been joking on me since he saw it pop up, man.
We got Magic Lasso. What's going on, Ryan? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in.
Love that.
And heck yeah, we got DJ Links in the house. What's up, DJ Links? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Also, we got Dave Collects. Yeah. Good to see you, Dave. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Appreciate that. Matt hanging out in the channel as well in the chat. We got my man Nigel, aka Desired Comics. What's going on, Nigel? Good to see you. Thanks for swinging by. We got some SpineTicks in the house. Sith Lordly, what is up, Sith? Thanks for stopping in as well. Let's see, just scrolling through, seeing people saying hi to each other. We got Cuber in the house, Comic Book Cuber. Hello. We also got Brother Joe Station. Brother Joe, appreciate you as well. We got my girl Sheena hanging out with us. HK Wifey. What's going on, Sheena? We got Alan Climbing Comics with us, hanging out as well. Good to see you, Alan. Let's see, just getting through. I think we're getting everybody here.
The troublemaker just showed up.
Everybody. Oh, yep, there he is. John's Comics with Kids.
What up, Johnny?
Good to see you, John. Great morning show as always. If you guys missed his Saturday morning show with his kids, they always like to break down some books that they've been reading, and it's always a good time. So good stuff as always. We got Perry in the house with the eyeballs hanging out with us. What's going on, Perry? All right, I think I got everybody. If I miss you, just keep it up in the chat. I will certainly highlight as I go. I see Unruly here too. What's going on, Unruly Simeon? Good to see you, brother. And yeah, so if you guys have any questions for John, for Matt, as I'm reading John's name here, if you have any questions for Matt, leave them in the comment section below, and we will certainly try to get to whatever we can. But in the meantime, Matt, let's kind of kick this thing off here. I'm going to start just with my straightforward question is, where has this all started for you, this hobby in general? Maybe just it started with reading or collecting, whatever came first, but how old were you? What was your environment like at that time when you first started getting into comics?
Man, I'm gonna have to go back to my mother's knees, man. My mom used to read us books like crazy when we were kids. And some of the ones that stood out to me were Narnia, the Narnia series,
nice.
Lord of the Rings. And my mom was great, man. She used to make all the voices and everything, kind of like John does over at his channel. He's recorded
with Harry Potter and stuff. Nice.
Yeah, man. So I grew up with this whole love for heroes. And then probably early 80s, I fell in love with He-Man and G.I. Joe cartoons. And really didn't get into comics until early 90s. So my brother-in-law, he probably was like 7-8 years older than me. He was dating my big sister. And one day he just comes into my room with a stack of comics, man. And I mean, he just put them on my bed. And being like a little 9-year-old kid, I'm like,
yeah.
And love the dude, So he drops all these books on my bed. Yeah. And I just started going through them, and I was just blown away. I mean, so many good reads at the time. It's probably like Death of Superman story, Infinity Gauntlet story, all kinds of books like that, man. And I was just blown away. So got into reading there a little bit, started going to this little sports card store. Cause you know how cards were the big thing in the 90s, man.
Yeah.
So went over to the sports card store, and they had comics there. Bought my first comic from there. Was a Ghost Rider book.
Oh, nice.
And just kind of fell in love with everything. And then, of course, early 90s, you got Spider-Man, X-Men, Batman animated series. All that stuff came together. It just was like my world,
Heck yeah.
So
that's a big time for sure to be coming into it. I feel like the 90s definitely had so many different things going on. And I like that you bring up like the kind of the TV shows and stuff like that. I always like to mention that I feel like that certainly can play a role for a lot of us collectors who have gotten into it. And I know for myself, I wasn't into comics when I was younger, but I certainly had watched some of those shows and appreciated what they were for that time, growing up. So I think cartoons and also films and things like that, all played a role.
Batman 89, Ninja Turtles. I mean,
man,
so much good stuff, man, from the 90s, late 80s.
Absolutely. And do you recall kind of maybe like your first time going into like a local comic shop or being in that kind of environment or where you were?
Yes. So that J&M sports cards, you walk in and the whole right side is all like sports cards, Beckett's. I mean, it was just back in the day, like, all that great stuff. And then the left side was just comics.
Okay.
Comic posters, comic books. And so, I mean, I was there all the time, man. And I collected a whole bunch, just trying to get all these Michael Jordan cards and trying to get, a bunch of Green Bay Packer cards because I love the Packers back in the day, or still do.
Nice.
But like, man, it's just, I was all about those cards. And then I started, oh man, these are comic books. And this goes with, the TV show, and the X-Men. And I just watched the X-Men,
Right.
So
together.
I did that for a while, man. But I got married really young. I got married 2 days after I graduated high school, 18, started having kids and started having to spend money on diapers and raising those children. Right.
Right.
So I, man, from like 2002 to like 2015, I went into a comics shop like 3 or 4 times, man.
Wow.
And just took my kids in there and, hey, go check it out. Go buy a book. I'll buy whatever you want. Just go grab it,
Yeah.
And I don't know what year it was that Man of Steel came out. I watched that movie and it did something to me in the theater. I didn't really love Superman growing up, but I liked the death of Superman story because obviously it was coming out. It was popular. My brother-in-law handed it to me, gave me some copies of that. But I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan, man. And I was always like Goku over soups all day long, right?
Heck yeah, man.
And so, but after I watched that movie, man, just trying to be a moral human being, trying to teach my kids to be moral, that movie was amazing. Yeah. And I know there's a lot of Superman fans that don't love it, but it blew me away. And I went home and I'm like, guys, I have comic books to the death of Superman story. Let's read them. So me and my kids went and got my books out, started reading. And I didn't have the next book that I needed to read the rest of the series. So I'm like, let's go to the comic shop. It's two minutes down the road.
Right.
And that's what started like where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I started going and trying to finish my Death of Superman, my Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War, Infinity Crusade. I was looking for individual issues so I could have it all,
Yeah.
And that's kind of what got me back into collecting again as an adult.
Down the rabbit hole you went.
Yeah. For sure, man.
Yeah, dude, that's amazing, man. And I think, I've with a lot of different people I've talked about, you hear these, times where people have taken breaks throughout their life for, various reasons. And as you grow up, obviously life happens. But it's cool that you were able to kind of, reconnect down the road and involve your kids in a way that I know your kids read a lot of comics and things like that. I remember when I first had kind of started following you, I thought it was really cool to see how involved you get your kids into reading and making it a daily thing, which is, I think, awesome and fun. So 2015, 2016, like, so you get back into comics, you start to really, collecting again, reading again. When was it that you, when was it that you cried? Because I kind of know when you started, but when was it that you were like, you know what, I think I'm going to start a YouTube channel? Like, what made you like think about that in terms of like, even like community and stuff like that?
I got, so I was reading a bunch of comics and buying stuff every week. And I was learning lots of hard lessons, getting back into collecting after 15, 16 years. Didn't know what CGC was, didn't know what a grade meant. Didn't know what a 9.8 white pages was, right?
Yeah.
I had no idea. So I'm going to my local comic shop, and the dude is taking me for all I'm worth. He's telling me, "Oh man, that's a near mint," which I have no idea what that is. And it was like very good. And he's selling me at near mint price. So I started realizing, okay, I need to learn more about this, and I need to figure out what I'm doing because I'm spending a lot of money on this stuff,
Yeah.
So I started watching YouTube videos, man. I jumped on and sorry about that.
Hey,
got my little Harry Potter ringtone right now. I jumped on YouTube, started following. The first guy I watched was Variant. Big, huge channel, millions.
Big channel. I know you're talking about. Yeah.
And loved it, man. Like he talking about this character and these characters battling and the history of this and that. And man, I loved it. So I was watching it all the time. I'd wake up Saturday morning because John's Comics with Kids wasn't on yet.
Right.
And I'd just lie there and watch it, you know. And then I started getting into other people, and then I started finding people, you know, that had smaller channels and were saying a lot of things. I'm like, I can do this. Oh, heck yeah, comics and pops, Harry Potter all day long.
There you go.
And he's watching it right now. So yeah, man. So I was like, you know what? I want to share my love for comics too.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And so that new series, what was it called? Mr. and Mrs. X, I think it was, or Rogan Gambit or something like that.
Yeah.
Rogan Gambit, man. I mean, some of my 90s love right there. So
Heck
I thought, let's try and make a channel. And so I did it. And I remember when Perry, Bueller, Comic Tom, you know, they're messaging me, hey, how do you do this? And how do you do that? You know? And all of a sudden they're all, what?
Yeah. It just took off.
It just took off, man. But, you know, it started making friends in the community, you know, met John, met JP, met everybody over all these years, you know?
Yep.
And it has been a blast, and I'm glad I did it. I really am.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I'm getting like a taste of that now as I've had a channel for about a year, and just, you know, knowing how close I've gotten to people because of an opportunity like this to hang out and talk with people is just amazing.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting a little bit of feedback or a little echo.
Are you?
You hear that? Tiny bit.
I don't hear it, but
okay. But anyway, but yeah, so it's just it's really cool to hear a little bit of your background of that, because like I said, there might be some people in the chat right now who maybe are not as familiar with you, and I just like to show that that's what's great about this community, is that people can kind of come and go.
Yeah.
And no matter what, the people you've made friends with at a certain time in your time of, you know, really putting out content or being busy with content and things like that, you keep those friendships, you keep those relationships, you know, forever. I mean, there are people that you just know for a very long time, and you're somebody to me who, you know, while you haven't been on this is your first time on my channel, but you know, we've certainly hung out in so many chats together and have talked it up, and obviously over on Instagram and things like that. And you know, it's just cool to see that, you know, you can come back even if it's just for certain shows and stuff, and your friends are still there, people are still there for you. And
you
so
pick up right where you left off, you know?
Absolutely. 100%.
I was, so it's interesting to meet all the different people in this community, right? We've got all kinds of walks of life and people from all over the world.
Yeah.
When Israel started getting bombed, first person I think of is Matola Gothica. She lives right there in Israel. You know, she's my good friend. I've sent her A-OK. She sent them to me.
Yeah.
And so what do? I hear, oh my gosh, Israel's getting bombed. I call Zlata up and I'm like, hey, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm good. It's about half an hour away from me, but it's scary. Right. You know, like the only reason I know about my friend in Israel is because of comic books and YouTube, you know?
Yeah. And that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Like earlier this year, my whole family got COVID, all 9 of us.
Oh,
right?
Man.
My wife, myself, and our 7 kids. And, kids beat it like a champ. Their immune system were like, get out of here, you know?
They're like, next.
No, yeah, next. I mean, like they didn't even it wasn't even like a bad cold. It was real easy for them to get over. But my wife and I got pretty sick.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you know, 9 of us are here. We're exhausted, sick, tired. Like Jimmy, the geek aficionado, he found out and he's like, hey, I'm paying for your dinner. I'm having it delivered to your house right now. You know what I mean? Like,
wow, that's amazing.
Stuff like that. It's just like, oh my gosh. This is why I love this community, man, because people are truly your friend.
Totally.
And stuff like that's just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that it started with comics, but then it obviously just goes even so much further than that is really cool. I've seen, you know, just going back through your videos and stuff, you have, you know, tons of AOKs that you've done, tons of mystery boxes and things like that. And again, just like guests and other stuff. And one thing I wanted to mention, that for those who don't know, you are the originator of Comic Gories, right? The show that John and JP have now kind of taken and run with. Yeah. But how did you kind of come up with that when you first were like putting that together?
You know, man, I had been thinking like I want to do some stuff with my channel. So I had 2 really good ideas, and one of them I did behind the scenes, and another one I'm like, I want to come up with a game show where I get lots of people together and I want them to compete, and I want them to just, you know, have the whole community. Like, I want to tune into this show.
Yeah.
So after a show on, I think it was either JP's channel or Comic Books NYC's channel, we got on and we were talking about some Batman reads and stuff. Afterwards, I'm like, hey guys, I got this idea. I want you to help me run it through. Let's talk about it and see if you guys have any ideas for me. It's this new show I want. It's going to be called Friday Night Lights. And I want everyone every Friday to show up, and I want them to go head to head and see who has the best comic cover. And I want the chat to vote on it.
Yeah.
And so JP is like, well, I think you should have a timer. And then I'm like, all right, 30 seconds. And then Comic Books NYC is like, hey, I think you should name it Comic Gories because we're going to have comic categories, So a whole bunch of people like threw it in there, and I'm like, this is awesome. So I went and kind of figured it out. And then I'm like, okay, I need somebody to do it with me.
Yeah.
I need somebody that is really good at talking, somebody that's quick on their feet, really wise, funny. Who else? John's Comics with Kids, right?
Yeah.
So I messaged John. I think I even told him, like, you have to be on the show. I'm sorry. Like, you can't.
Get no choice.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? Yeah, JP, it was after Gotham City Chronicles. So great show, by the way, too.
Heck yeah.
Can never get enough of Batman. But yeah, so John's like, okay, I'm in. I guess I'm in, And so we started it off and we're doing it for a while, and it changed it over to, it was Friday Night Fights for a while. I think for like 2 or 3 episodes. Then we changed it to Comic Gories, and it just blew up, man. At some point we had, I had 400 people. No, not 400 people. I'm sorry. I can't remember, but it got really big.
Yeah.
Ton of people watching. That was the big show. I think I had Gem Mint, Comic Tom, Comics with Bueller.
Yeah.
And it got like, there are so many people watching it live, and I don't remember all the numbers. It's been a while.
The trash talking is so good, man.
Oh man, it was great. And then I mean, the thing is, people come. People participate. We laugh. People get ticked off that they lose. You know what I mean? Like, I need to get on again.
Yep.
It's just, there's been so many good times. We had Halloween specials, and then we started throwing out all kinds of different like love specials and couples versus couples. And
yeah.
Man, it was so good. Hey, Jojo, Jeffrey, what's up, guys?
Whoa. What's up, Jeffrey?
Yeah, it was, I mean, just so much fun, man. And that was one of the hardest things I had to, walk away from.
Right.
But John took over, JP jumped in, and I've been on their show a few times, and man, it's awesome.
It's still great, man. It's still great. I had the opportunity to be on, not too long ago, and
how'd you do?
I remember like I made the mistake of kind of pulling my punches a little bit. I remember you were in the chat at one point saying, Justin, don't go all out, man. Yeah. Just go all out. And
that's right.
My topic was Storm, and I tried to get all creative and show another X-Men book other than Giant Size X-Men.
Lay down the hammer, man.
I was like, damn it. I was like, I'll be able to show this off another time, but the opportunity never came. So, but yeah, it's an incredible show. If you guys don't know the show, if you're not following, John has it over on his channel. He co-hosts it with JP right now. So, I think they're every 2 weeks or so. Amazing stuff, though. I want to say a quick hello to a couple other people there that I missed from earlier. I saw Fuzzy Dunlop hanging out with us. I saw Steve Hip Hops and Me hanging out with us. I said hello to Alonzo before. Southern Comic Geek Jason hanging out with us as well. Appreciate you guys. We got 21 here hanging out in the chat right now. Jojo and Jeffrey said hello. Appreciate you guys stopping in. I thought I saw someone else too. I apologize if I missed you. But that's not. But anyways, so guys, if you aren't following Matt, make sure you hit the links in the description below over on Instagram and YouTube. And
thanks, man.
Yeah, man. So this it's really it's interesting to hear because like again, I'm always curious like how people develop their shows. What kind of came across. So it's cool to hear also that it was like a collective idea from, a bunch of you, as you mentioned, Kavi and JP and a few others. So very cool to hear that too. I wanted to ask you, are you a Comic-Con goer, or were you at least, before the pandemic? And if you are, do you recall your first time, what your first Comic-Con experience was? So
I've only been to my local Comic-Con. I've been to 3 years of that. And my first one was, I think, 2017 or 18, and real fun. Chris Claremont came,
Oh, wow.
Which was really cool. Got him to sign a whole bunch of books before I realized I don't like signed books. And
we live and learn, my friend. We live and learn.
That's right, man. But no, it was cool because I took my son with me, Tony, and we went over there and he met Chris Claremont, man. And we were talking with him forever. And I was telling him how much I love Rogue and Gambit. And he's like, I hate Rogue and Gambit together. I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, I had nothing to do with that. I actually wanted Rogue to marry Black Panther. And so he starts telling me this whole story that he was going to write that never happened. Oh, wow. It was just so cool to sit there and listen to him tell this whole story, man. And so that was really cool. It's been fun. I actually did go over to Dallas in 2019 to a road show over there, and I met Jim Starlin. Had to get his signature on some stuff because obviously I love Infinity Gauntlet. It's my favorite story of all time. Yep. And those X-Men statues behind you don't have white pages. You should get rid of them. Yeah, you want it, don't you, Southern Comic Geek?
But
yeah, I went over there, met Jim Starlin. I met Jim Shooter and Mike Zeck and
nice
John Beatty.
Yeah, John Beatty,
yeah. And then Ron Wilson, love his work too.
Cool.
So that was really cool. And then I had planned 2020 to go to the huge get-together in Florida for MegaCon.
Oh, man.
And so I had my tickets, had my hotel. I had people who were going to come stay in the room with me and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened.
Damn. Yep.
Yeah. So I hope I get to do that again. I hope one of these days I'll be able to go over to Florida and things, but it's going to be a while now with the stuff that's going on in my life, you know?
Sure. So, damn, man. Yeah. Hearing a couple of stories like that where it's like everybody's booked, they're ready to go, early 2020, and then the pandemic. So hopefully you'll be able to get back to something like that. I am excited for where things are going now, and you know, cons are starting to come back, and you know, now that I've been even more so into the community than I've ever been, I'm just so excited to like meet people in person. And I've already met a few. I've gone to a couple local, you know, some smaller Comic Cons and stuff, but it is so cool to kind of just, I mean, these big ones that are coming up. I mean, even Terrificon I have set going on in Connecticut at the end of July. That is going to be insane. I've talked to a lot of people. I can't imagine like we're all just gonna like walk in one giant group down the hall. You know, like I just feel like we're all gonna hang out the entire time.
Who
and, like,
are these guys?
Yeah, we're gonna need like a dinner for 40. You know, like,
man.
So it'd just be nice to, you know, put faces to names and you know, and maybe introduce some people who haven't met each other and just, you know that they're all good people. You know. And
did you ever watch the thing that Bear Island made for C2E2?
No.
So a whole bunch of guys, I think it was C2E2, a whole bunch of guys from the comic community got together, and Bear Island made like a whole video talking about how they got together and stuff.
Nice.
If anyone hasn't watched that and want to, like, you should go check it out, man. It's hilarious. I cried because I'm like, oh, I wish I was there. You know what I mean? Like, it was really good.
Yeah. Was that the one that was right before the pandemic? Was it that C2E2 or was it?
Yes. Yeah. Right before everybody got together. That's what he called it. The last con. There you go.
The last con. Okay. Yeah.
Man. It was such a good, I don't even know, a documentary. There you go. The word was escaping me. He made like a documentary about it. The last con. There it is, guys.
Damn. Okay.
So good.
So that is, I remember seeing a lot of the friends that I know now, like Kavi was there, you know, a bunch of them were there. I think JP was there. Yeah. Like, I didn't see that video, but I did see like a lot of photos and things like that. And even that was like killing me. I'm just like, man, like, you know, and that's a big show too, C2E2. So, you know, hopefully one day. Matt, where are you based out of again?
El Paso, Texas, man.
Oh, you're in Texas. Okay. Right.
Yeah. Right. I'm like literally 15 minutes away from Gem Mint. Been over to his house a few times and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
There's the link there. Thanks, John, for dropping that, JP. Very cool stuff, man. Yeah.
See, that's why he was my right hand man on Comic Gore. See how he just pulled that up like
he's
that?
Just like that.
Man. Yeah, it hurt. I was so happy for them, Unruly, and then like so
at the same time,
there, you know,
kind of torturous at the same time.
Yeah.
So all right, I want to talk a little bit about let's start with some of the books that you might be reading.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're at right now with how often you get to still read, but are there some books that you're currently reading that you're really enjoying? Maybe name a couple series that come to mind.
I was just talking with Bullseye Bob about this like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I had a pile of books for 2 months that I hadn't read because I've been so busy.
Yeah.
and I literally got through all of my Marvel reads and all my Batman reads just this morning. I kind of like yesterday. That's all I did. I just all day long just read, and today.
Right.
Some of the books I was reading that I haven't read, there's a couple issues, but Swamp Thing,
the new
the new Swamp Thing. Oh my gosh,
good.
man! I read issue 1 and 2.
Nice.
And I got 3 and 4 right here. But just off of those two, man, I was hooked.
Yep.
Like dark, scary, exciting, new characters.
Yeah, heck yeah.
You know, so Swamp Thing, awesome read.
Yep.
Can't wait to get to the other two. I just finished Nightwing this morning.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So good, dude.
Goosebumps at the end.
Right here, man.
Yeah, man. I had goosebumps all over my arms, and I'm like, this is why I read these things, because
dude,
it's too good. So Nightwing, really, really great.
I'm so happy you brought that up, because people that follow me know I can't shut up about that book. I cried 78. I cried. I literally the scene where he's reading the letter is just so heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I cry all the time in comics, man. I don't know. I was watching what was I watching the other day? I put on the Death of Superman and Reign of Superman animated movie.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I was doing some work on my and I'll just put it on so it's background noise, and I'm doing work on my bed, and I look up and I start watching, and it's the part where, you know, Superman comes back to life. He's in his black suit and he's fighting. And I got super emotional, man. And I'm sitting there like crying and stuff, you know. My son walks in. He's like, "Oh, Dad, dinner's." Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you on the crying part. He just turns around and walks out, you know.
He just sees you bawling.
They're just so used to me, man. They're so used to me.
So funny.
Yeah, no, I definitely, Nightwing has given me chills, tears, excitement. Yeah. It's really good, man. Tom Taylor's kicking butt on that one.
Absolutely. Unruly here saying favorite 9.8 in your collection, one that you couldn't bear to part with. That's a good question. And by the way, if you guys don't know, Matt has I think every single book in a 9.8. It feels like you have every single 9.8.
This is my first 9.6 I've ever.
Oh, there you go.
Have in my collection, so it's not all 9.8s now.
That's special. That's a special book then. That stands out.
That's right, baby. Any modern book I own is a 9.8. Yeah. So I have some that are glitter and duct tape. It has been a minute. How you doing?
Whoa, what's up, glitter?
So, man, that's a hard question, because I've said this before. I'm a father first. Yeah. So anything in my life comes down to, you know, feeding my kid or paying the bills or anything. There's not one book in my collection I won't part with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not even it's easy, but oh man. I don't want to part with any of them, dude.
All right. Well, hey, the good news is you don't have to. You don't have to. So,
right. I'll show you one that's actually not my book. And I saw the conversation earlier, and John and JP are right. It's my wife's book, but this would be one of the last books I would part with in our collection.
Ooh.
And it's is this sexy baby right here.
Oh man. Oh my gosh.
There it is,
dude. Wow. With the
I love
label and everything.
I can't wait till this guy shows up in the MCU and this thing gets even crazier.
Yeah, man. Oh my gosh, that is a beast right there.
Yeah. So that's the wife's book, though. It's the wife's book.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Well, since we're showing off some powerful stuff here, do you have a couple other books that you want to share that means something special to you?
Well, this one, the reason I pulled it out, because you asked me, pull out some books that mean something to you, right?
Yeah.
I was hunting a whole bunch of books. I wanted an FF1, an AF15, and then I saw this come. And my wife loves The Punisher.
Yeah.
She's always cracking on Batman, right? She's always like, even the other day, I think I posted it on my story on Instagram, but I said something like, I'm like Batman. She's like, no, you're not like that wuss. Like, you would kill bad guys, you know? So she's like, you got to be more like the Punisher, you know?
Yeah.
She just loves this character. And so I really wanted an AF-15, and I was saving up money for it, and then this thing became available. And in my head, I'm like, how cool would that be? I'm the 9.8 white page guy, right? And to get this book for my wife, and it changed the way that I started collecting things, you know?
Yeah.
I was really after the hunt and after putting things on Instagram, and then as soon as I realized, I got to get my wife something. And I'm going to be able to say I gave her her favorite book in a 9.8 white pages. You know what I mean? So this actually means a lot to us. It's hers. It would be probably the last book that we'd ever sell if we had to.
Yeah.
But it changed the way I started collecting. And I've been now collecting books for my kids in 9.8 white pages. Like one of my sons loves Ghost Rider and he loves Danny Ketch. Oh, so nice. He's got his Ghost Rider #1, 9.8 white pages. My other son loves Damian Wayne. So he's got his Batman 655, right? 9.8 white pages. One of my sons loves Mario. So I'm trying to get that Super Mario Brothers 9.8 white pages, that white one where he's on there with the tail.
Whoa, yeah.
You know, so problem is I was going to buy it. It was at $700 and all of a sudden it went to $2,000 because of this crazy comic market. And so I'm like, no. But so I'm trying to do that now, like buy books for my kids and buy things that I really, truly love that mean something to me instead of just grab everything, you know, fear of missing out. Right.
Yeah.
So get rid of that life and go to something that means something. So that's a great book that I absolutely love. Plus it's a banger. It's, you know, I mean, come on.
Heck yeah,
Punisher 9.8.
Iconic. It is iconic, man.
This book is actually one that my brother-in-law, like I told you, it's one of the books that he put in my room. And it's, I think this is the Superior Infinity Gauntlet. And just, he gave it to me as a kid. I read this story, fell in love with it. It's from my brother-in-law. He actually passed away of cancer in 2008. And so every time I see these books that he gave me as a little kid that's just looking up to this really older, big kid that loved my sister, I mean, I just love him for it, you know? So this means a lot to me, you know? And it's actually in a really good condition.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are the two books that I pulled out to kind of share.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
I love I always talk about this on this, you know, part of the segment where it's like, you know, it's cool to hear these backstories on books and especially ones that aren't necessarily keys or per se not. I mean, the ASM is a key, the 129 is a key, but the other one, like just knowing that particular book is very special to you because of, you know, the connection that you have with it, and it can never you know, be replaced in that sense. So that is very special. I see. So if he's a big Ghost Rider fan, putting that up there.
I got a little Ghost Rider love for you.
Here you go, Michael. Boom. Oh, let's light that up. Wait, Matt, is that a zero? What is that?
Yeah.
What's going on there, man?
This was a little too hard for. Did you see the recent sales price of this in a 9.8?
No.
$128,000, man.
Oh my god.
128. There was a point where I wanted to get it, and then the boom happened, and
Yeah, the boom's been rough. Jeez, that's wild. Beautiful book.
That one's gonna get.
Hey, yeah, and any high grade is amazing for books like that. Very cool, very cool. So, next, I want to ask you just a little bit about, you know, I always point out there's new collectors all the time. Just when we were backstage, we were talking about how this community has grown so much and there's so many new faces that are coming on board. There's a lot of new people who have created YouTube channels now and jumped in as, you know, part of the community. And there are still more thanks to, you know, Disney Plus and the MCU films and, you know, all these different shows, Sweet Tooth, things like that are getting people into even just remotely piquing the interest of like, oh, let me check out a comic book. And my question for you is, what piece of advice would you give to somebody who may be just on the cusp of jumping into this hobby, whether it's for collecting purposes or reading purposes or whatever however they might approach it? If you had some general advice, and you can get as detailed as you want, or feel free to elaborate on whatever, but what kind of advice comes to mind for you that you would give to someone that's new?
You know what, man? After doing this for almost 4 years now, I've seen a lot of people come and go. I've seen a lot of people make mistakes. I've seen myself do that. I've seen drama in the community. I've seen love in the community. I've seen it all, right? Yeah. I think the best thing to do, in all honesty, is to share with people something that you love. Yeah. And be completely honest about it. A lot of people have gotten in this idea, like we see it in the comic community too. People want to not miss out on the next hottest book, and so they go down this rabbit hole of, I'm going to buy every variant that there is. and then 2 months later, your variant's not worth like a quarter of what you paid for it. You know,
Yeah.
there's this whole thing with Instagram and YouTube. Let's show off. Let's send AOK so my name can get bigger. Let's do this and that, whatever, right? And there's a gentle balance you got to find because you're trying to make new friends. Sure. You're trying to grow your channel. But I think the people that do it right are the ones that do it because it's genuinely something that they love and enjoy, and they work hard at it by being consistent.
Yeah.
And those are the channels that explode. If you're consistent and you're sharing something that you love, you're going to do all right. And the reason you're going to do all right is because even if your channel doesn't explode, you're doing something you love. Yeah. Right. And people see that and recognize that's a genuine human being. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So just don't get caught in the whole, giving too many things away and doing too many contests. And that's all great. Do it. But don't do it just to grow.
Right.
Like genuinely make friends, meet people, help people, and everything else kind of falls into place. So that would be my advice for people that are just getting into this, man.
Dude, I absolutely love that. And I'll say, like, there's certainly been, I think it's easy to get caught up in seeing what other people are posting and sharing and you turning it into like, okay, I'm supposed to have that too. And when I have it, I'm going to show it off too. And it might not be like genuine to yourself of like, I got this really cool thing, but maybe there are for myself, I'm speaking just like I have books that I know I bought just because people essentially told me they were cool. And then like later I'm just like, I actually don't care too much about this particular book or this character or this artwork or whatever, so I think it's great advice, something that people should certainly just consider, in that ultimately be genuine. If you want to give because you want to give, not because you are expecting people to necessarily blow up your channel or whatever the case may be, or to do it for selfish purposes,
exactly.
But to really just want to give back. So I think that's really, really great advice. And this is one of my favorite parts of the show, is just kind of, talking about some of this stuff. Cause like I said, there's a lot of people who are approaching this hobby for the first time, and it can be an intimidating hobby. I think that, with all the information that's out there and the people that are, showing off books and things like that, or even just using the lingo, I think some newer people might get intimidated by even maybe not knowing what an AOK is or means. I certainly was there at one point not knowing what that even stood for, some people don't want to ask those questions. So I like to have this kind of segment here where we kind of talk a little bit about stuff like that. So I think it's great advice, and I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, man. I'll say this too. It's not like I'm some kind of high and mighty guy that didn't do any of these things. Man, I did so many giveaways when I first started.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think out of the like 5 giveaways that I did before I hit 1,000, like 2 people are still watching my channel, or what I was still posting all the time. Like everybody else that won just came to the channel, saw what I was giving away, won it, and then took off.
And then left.
Right. And I remember just like finally, I'm like, that's it. The only way you can win something on my channel is if you're live watching it, and we're gonna call you out. And if you're here live, you're getting it.
Be there. Yeah.
And so these are things that I learned because I made mistakes.
Yeah.
And to speak to the point that you just made, one of the things I wish I had done at first, because you get on here and you don't want to look like an idiot, right? You're putting out content to the world.
Yeah.
And you don't want to look like an idiot. And so sometimes I'd maybe say things like, because I just researched it and made it sound like I was this expert. I wish I could go back and just say, like, guys, this is a journey that I'm taking. I have no idea about any of this, but this is my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what AOK means. Can somebody tell me? I don't know what FOMO means. Can somebody tell me? I don't know what 9.8 and 9.6. What's the difference?
Right.
I wish I could go back and just be completely honest and do that instead of trying to put this show on. Yeah. And as time went on, I figured that out, and then it just became, okay, now it's just me.
Yeah.
But this is just the mistakes that I made, and hopefully they help people, and help people as they're getting into this. They're like, all right, cool.
Yeah, no, great points all around. And I think that's the best way to go about it.
There you go.
Yeah. Ryan, spot on. Travis too. If you ain't having fun while you're doing it, then you're doing it wrong. Yeah. You certainly want to put that first and foremost. Oh, we got Luke in the house. Hydra Collectibles. What's going on, Luke?
What's up, Luke?
I look like an idiot all the time, but I love doing YouTube. There you go. Luke, you're always putting out great content, man. I appreciate your content. We got my man Fable hanging out with us too. What's going
up,
on,
Fable?
Station? Let's see. There was a question here I wanted to.
I saw it.
Yeah, this is probably a heavier topic, but we'll keep it light here. But Dan Dilator, good to see you, Dan. He said a question for both of you. Any thoughts on Blackstone's investment / purchase of CGC? Matt, any thoughts to that? I know that could probably be a whole episode on its own, but
yeah,
anything quick that comes to mind?
I'm a little worried about it because I've never seen Blackstone do anything good. I kind of feel like the things that they touch harm the average American citizen. So I'm kind of worried about it, but you never know. I mean, people change, companies change, but I'm worried. True.
Yeah. For myself, I personally don't really have too many thoughts on it, as I'm just not that into grading. I don't know enough about CGC just generally to even have a thought on that, versus I know there's a lot of other companies that kind of do similar to what they do. And lately I've just kind of stayed away from, I mean, I have done CGC before, but I've only done like 2-3 submissions ever. So I try to, if I am buying something graded, like I try to buy it already graded and not deal with, anything to begin with. So if I'm buying something graded, lately I've been buying just raws just because I prefer just getting some of the raw stuff. But anyways, good question.
I've got 25 books there right now for a 9.8 pre-screen. Been there since March. Still not looked at. But that's everybody, right?
Well, I was gonna say you're not alone there.
I watched a couple videos. I watched Skeff and somebody else, and they had their 9.8 pre-screen come back, and only like 9 of the books passed
of the 25
out of the 25. And I'm freaking out, man. I'm like usually when I do this, I'm in the 20s out of 25. 2 or 3 books didn't get it.
Right.
And these that I sent off, I'm pretty sure 22 of them are legit 9.8s no matter what, and then 3 of them I was like, maybe. But man, if I get 9 back, I'm gonna be so mad after waiting all these months too,
Yeah, that's even more.
Yeah, I'm worried about it.
Yeah. That's the other thing for me personally. I don't have the eye for it, and that's something I'm still trying to learn myself in terms of grading and recognizing what's what. But that's hey, you definitely got to take some time to do some research on that stuff.
I can point out a 9.8.
Yeah,
but I can't point out anything else, man.
Right. I see. Let's see. Luke said, just want to wish all, appreciate you, man. Appreciate that. Ragin here saying my opinion is about on this purchase, keeping my books raw. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, is to kind of hold off and wait if you can and see where this whole thing goes. So it's one way to go about it.
Yeah.
But very cool. So yeah, like I said, that's probably a topic we could chime on for a while. I do have some fun rapid questions I want to get to in just a little bit. Before I do, I had one other question for you, and it has to do with your collection as a whole. Really wondering, at least right now with where you are in life, and again, I know goals change, but I want to ask you your goals here with your books and your purpose of collecting and continuing to purchase and collect books. Where do you see your collection, years from now? Like, or I guess what I should say is, what do you plan to do with your collection years from now? Are you, planning to eventually sell all these books? Are you planning to hand them down to your kids one day, take them to the grave with you? What would be kind of the end all be all for your collection?
So I collect because I love comics. Russ, what's up, my man?
Hey.
He's one of my best guys right there. Love that guy.
Nice.
I collect because I love the comics. I love the characters, and I love the hunt. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Speaking to CGC just really quickly, it's great to go buy a 9.8, right? But like buying this 9.8, that this one right here cost me a pretty penny, right?
Right.
It would have been so much cooler to find a raw book, CGC it, and get the 9.8.
True.
So that's what I've been doing lately. I'm finding books, taking hours and hours, looking online, pictures, recording my videos when my books get here from eBay, checking them, making sure, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And when 9.8s come back, it's awesome.
Yep.
So anyway, I think I collect for investment mainly. And one of these days when I need to sell something, I'll sell something.
Yeah.
You know, like this last Christmas, I wanted to get my wife. We moved into a new house. The house was built in the 90s, so the kitchen was like, you know, outdated. And so I wanted to get my wife a brand new kitchen, appliances, everything. So I sold my X-Men one. Kind of kicking myself because I sold it right before the boom. And so now it's going for like 3 times the price I sold it for. So, but other than that, it paid for a new kitchen, right? So
That's
for
so
me,
great.
like I'll hang on to these things, and I definitely have my books that these 10 are going to be the last 10 that will sell if I ever do. But yeah, as time goes on, man, I'll sell. I'll do what I need to do just to take care of my family. I got 7 kids, so I mean, I've got missions and college and weddings and all kinds of stuff that I'm going to have to, you know, pitch in for or pay for completely. So, you know, we'll see what happens, but I hope to hold on to them as long as I can. I hope that my business, you know, continues to flourish and I won't need to sell these. And then maybe one of these days as I'm old and stuff and ready to retire, I either sell them all and live on that, or I hand them down to my kids and let them, you know, have that when they can actually appreciate it and won't just sell it for, you know, a cheap set of money or whatever. But
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, I don't 100% know, but I hope to hold on to them as long as I can.
Makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And like I said, I know goals can always change, and obviously depending on how life is going and what you're trying to do, totally understandable. Yeah, I see Luke saying he sold his giant size X-Men 1 just before the boom. But I too got stuff sorted for the family. Yeah.
Oh man, what's up, kid collector? There you go.
Hey, yeah, what's up, kid? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, man, it makes sense. Hydra, got to do what you got to do.
Exactly. By the way, I wanted to point out, I meant to bring this up in the very beginning and I completely forgot to, but for anyone who doesn't know, can you just explain your name?
Yeah. So TheBoyWhoHad7 actually came from one of my sons, Tony, the one that went and met Chris Claremont with me. I love Harry Potter. It's one of my favorite things in the entire world. And the first chapter of the first book is The Boy Who Lived. So for a long time, I was trying to find out some play on words with that, you know, because I wanted my Gmail to be theboywholived@gmail.com, right?
Yeah.
But that's all taken. So I have 7 children. My wife and I got married. She is my high school sweetheart. We've been together 20 plus years.
Yep.
We got married, had 7 kiddos. And so my son's like, Dad, why don't you say The Boy Who Had 7? You know, so The Boy Who Lived.
Yep.
And you have 7 kids. So he put that together. And so I became The Boy Who Had 7.
Wow. So I knew it was The Boy Who Had 7 kids. I didn't know about the Harry Potter part. So that's really cool to kind of to learn that portion of that. Yeah. I love the name because it just stands out so much. And I remember when I first saw your name, I was thinking like, well, because it just says The Boy Who Had 7, like 7 what? 7 sandwiches, 7 golf clubs. Like I didn't know.
7 comics.
7 grails. Like, you know. So and it's so easy or it's so memorable. I feel like because my girlfriend knows you just because I can say, yeah, Matt, the one who had 7 kids, like him, and she's like, oh yeah, him. Like you just know like right away like who you are anytime that you're referenced to. So it's very catchy. And well done with the branding, my friend.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You know, there's only one comic couple that I know of that has more kids than I do.
Oh,
so Captain Comics.
Oh, wow.
They've got 8. Yeah.
Wow. Man. Okay. So, wow.
But yeah, man, I love it. I love the name. It's something that'll be with me forever. So I appreciate that, man.
Yep. Okay, has a good ring to it. Yeah,
that's right.
That aren't my movies. Let's see Lasso here saying, just thinking it should be mentioned that Matt's 12th day of Christmas event was beyond anything I've ever experienced as a viewer. I don't think I've seen that. That's cool,
man. So back Christmas of 2019, I think it was, maybe 18. I can't remember. I wanted to let my friends know that I loved them. Some of the people had just gone through some things that were really hard in their life. And I decided to pick out 17 people in the community and send them Christmas gifts and then have them come over to my channel and watch.
Man, that's cool.
I would watch them open up live, and then everyone would be together and kind of do this whole 12 days of Christmas. So we did it 12 days in a row, and man, it was magical, Magic Lasso. Some of those friends, some of those moments. I went back and watched McD. Gave McD a gift. Do you know McD, Comic Geek McD?
I feel like I've seen the name.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar though.
He's from Scotland, and I sent him over the first appearance of the Red Hood.
Oh, nice.
And I got it from Soldier and Fuchsia because they were down on their luck and they needed to sell some books.
Yeah.
And I felt like I can't take advantage of them,
right?
You know, and like buy these books from them when they're out of luck. So I'm like, I'm going to buy this book to help them, but I'm going to A-OK it to somebody else.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so
great idea.
We got Comic Geek McD. He had no idea it was coming because he collects all Red Hood books, and I had bought him one that he couldn't find in Scotland. So I'm like, oh, I'll just send you this one. You know, it was $2 here, so I'll send it to you. So he thought he was getting this one raw book, and then that book shows up. But then we had Soldier and Fuchsia come on live.
Oh, so
they watched their book get opened by McD, who originally they had planned, and I didn't know this until the day it happened.
Yeah,
they had wanted to send it to McD because he was such a good big Red Hood fan.
Oh wow!
But because they fell on hard times,
right,
they didn't have the money to send it, and they needed help. So like this whole
worked out, man.
Worked out, man. And oh my gosh, like Crystal remembers. I got goosebumps right now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was spectacular, man. And I think I cried in every single episode, and by the end, everyone's like waiting for TheBoyWhoHad7 to cry, you know?
Like, and there it is. Yeah.
It was so much fun, man.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I'll have to go back. I'll have to go check those out. That's a really cool idea. Really great idea. Dan saying he's the second of 7.
Catholic sweet, man. Here we go, Catholics.
Big family. Yeah. Cool.
We're Mormon, but Catholics are great too.
Super Russ. That's awesome to see. Absolutely. Anthony here saying, believe me, I know it's like to have to sell comics because we need money. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, life happens, but it's very cool that was able to kind of work out the way you had it work out. So very cool. Okay, so I want to get into some of the rapid questions here. We're coming up on just the hour, and I know in a half hour you're going to be over on Kevin's channel, which I'm excited for you to do that. But before we close out here, I'll hit you with a couple rapid questions, and then let you take the floor. Anything else that you want to add in here? And appreciate everybody watching right now. We still got 21 people in the chat. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Make sure that if you're not following Matt, put his information in the description below. Make sure you go do that. Reach out to Matt at some point. It's been a lot of fun here. So, all right. So I want to hit you with a couple of I always call them rapid questions. My girlfriend always says they're not rapid at all because I sometimes have you elaborate on certain things. And so we'll see how this goes. I like to still call them that though.
I like it.
Because, slow rapid, slow rapid. All right. First thing, if you had to choose one character of all time, who's your favorite comic book character?
Dang, that's tough. Oh man. I'm torn between two. The top two are easy for me. But like I'm super torn, but I have my nieces and nephews call me Uncle Batman, and so I'm gonna have to go with Batman.
What is the second? Is
Spider-Man?
It's okay, Spidey.
Yeah, Spidey. So, but yeah, I love those two characters so much, man. I mean, watching Batman the animated series and the Spider-Man animated series, like, good times. The toys that I'd play with too in the '90s. Come on, man, like. Yeah. I have my G.I. Joes, my Star Wars toys, my Dragon Ball toys, and my Spider-Man and Batman, and they were always taking the day. Spider-Man and Batman, they win it all,
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
JP knows when you ask me for a favorite, it's really hard for me to give you my favorite.
Yeah, here's 17. I remember talking with Kavi about his favorite, and he had brought both of those characters up as his top favorites. Yep. Well, your lucky day, we're gonna give you 2, so there you go. Those are your official 2 top that we'll let you pick for that answer. If you could have one superpower, what would that be?
Oh man. Oh, that's oh man. I used to say Wolverine as a kid. I take Wolverine's powers as a kid, right? But man, it's so tough.
I have to get some rating music.
I know, right? I'm sorry. It's supposed to be rapid questions too.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Purple Man's powers.
Oh, heck yes.
But it would be really hard not to turn into an evil person with those powers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he struggled. Look at him,
You do things innocently, like, hey, go get me a sandwich, yeah? And then all of a sudden you have slaves everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'd probably have to go with oh man, I don't even know. Let's say invincibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't think you can go wrong there. I think it's a good choice. Yeah, it's tough because obviously there's just so many that come to mind, and you can just tell you're just like ciphering through all the different possibilities, and it's like it's wild. So yeah, I love it. Great pick. Who's your favorite? Let's go with all time. Who's your favorite all time comic book artist?
Oh, that's hard to. Dang, man.
Hitting you with the hard ones here, Matt. Sorry.
I'm gonna go Jim Lee. Just because it's
90s,
it's 90s X-Men. My brother-in-law handed me those books, you know.
Yeah.
Jack Kirby would be close second.
Right. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I think those are certainly up there for sure. What was the last comic book that you read?
I just read was it Nightwing? No, Detective Comics 1039.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have not caught
about
up
an hour and a half ago.
Nice. Yeah. What about what's your favorite actually, let me rephrase this. What's your favorite comic book based film of all time?
It's easy. Endgame.
Yes. Heck yeah, man.
I'm telling you, Infinity Gauntlet's my favorite story of all time.
Yeah.
To watch the first like 3 phases of Marvel like play into, you know, I kind of like Infinity War and Endgame as one. If you can give me that and cheap,
totally, that totally counts as one. I'll give you that.
It's one story, right?
Yep.
Totally. The way that I felt in Endgame, just watching that, like, blew my mind.
Agreed, 100%. What's going on, Swag? Good to see you, man. Great choice, and I think for sure you can combine those. That essentially is that if they put it out together in one, I would have sat for the entire thing.
Oh, me too. And I would have watched it 10 times.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay, this is a cool one. What if you could go back in time and literal time travel and buy one comic book off the shelf for cover price that you could never sell, that would literally go to the grave with you, what would that one comic book be?
Oh, man, see, you guys are gonna make fun of me. Oh man, it's between 3. Tech 27 is probably what I'm leaning towards, because if I bought it and then I'd have it in 9/8 white pages, and then it would go to the grave with me, man. I'm gonna go with that one.
I love it.
Yeah. 27, Batman. You know,
I love it how as you started like explaining it, you're like, actually, yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That'd just be amazing. Yeah, you could have it crispy, you know, not have to worry.
Real crispy, man. Trust me, I think of that all the time. Like, I'd go back in time, I'd just grab 3 of them.
Yeah,
I'd sell one, right, and then keep 2 of them.
You're like, I'm not being greedy, just 3. That's all I'd take is 3. Very cool. I mean, at that point, maybe, hey, you could just buy 3 of that one particular book. That would be amazing too.
Oh yeah, man.
All right, next question. Who do you prefer, or who's your favorite of these 2 options, the original X-Men team or the new Claremont X-Men team?
I'd have to go new.
Heck yeah,
because Wolverine.
I'm with you. I'm with you because of Storm, but yeah, I'm with you.
Storm rocks. If my perfect X-Men team would be Rogue, Gambit, Wolverine, Psylocke, and then Cyclops.
Interesting.
Storm, and we leave it there.
All right, I like it. I like it. It's a good team. I like the idea of that too, man. I should do something like that, where I ask people to build their team or something.
That'd be fun, man.
Yeah.
I was so mad that this statue didn't have Psylocke and Gambit.
Oh my god, I actually just realized that you have that statue. I've seen that before.
Yeah,
literally did not notice that until you just pointed that out. That's amazing. that statue's insane. Oh, it looks so much smaller on my screen right now, just because
no video I've watched can do, or picture I've seen can do that thing justice. It is the coolest thing ever, man. Get Cyclops out of there.
Yeah, I know JP has he feels a certain way. I know.
Yeah.
And long shot, Swag says. Interesting. Nice. Very cool. All right, let's see. Couple others. No, I think that's all right. So those are my comic related ones. I have a couple non-comic related ones I want to ask you. So the first one I want to kick it off with is sports. Are you a sports guy, which I believe you are? And so what's your favorite sports and team?
Okay, my favorite sport is football.
Okay.
To play and to watch, and my favorite team is the Green Bay Packers.
That's right.
Love the Packers since '92.
Nice. What did you play when you were, or what positions did you play?
So I started playing football when I was about 3. My dad and mom put me into flag football.
Whoa, nice.
And then I did it all the way through high school. And
Cool.
I've played everything from lineman. When I was young, I was real big and heavy, little fat boy. So I played line and everything when I was real young. And then as I got older and started getting quicker and like slimming down, I was a running back and linebacker.
Oh, wow.
My favorite position to play is quarterback. And so,
cool.
I love that position, man.
Very cool. Do you any of your kids play football? Or
so my son Tony, who I've mentioned many times, he's 12. He's almost as tall as me, huge kid. He weighs like 230 pounds.
Wow.
He's 12, man. Kid plays football and he lights it up.
Nice.
And then my other son Aaron, who's older than him, he plays he's going to go to high school, but he played middle school football. My older 2 boys, I've got 10 concussions from sports and other things, fighting and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Crazy stories.
Yeah. Damn.
So I kind of was like, no, I don't want you guys playing football because I got plenty of my concussions, broken bones, broken ribs, all kinds of crazy stuff from football. Yeah. So I kind of kept them away for a while. And then they got to a point where I was like, if you guys want to, you can. And my older 2 kids were like, no, we don't want to. Yeah. But Aaron and Tony were like, yeah, let's do it, Dad. We're down for it. So
nice. So that's a good mix then. Good mix.
Yeah.
We got Michelle hanging out with us. What's going on? Moonlit Comics.
Hey, Michelle.
This has been an awesome interview so far. Really enjoying to get to know Matt. Heck yeah. Thank you for hanging out. We also got Bobby in the house too. Station Bobby. Thanks for stopping in.
Yo.
So, all right. So, so other than football, where else do you stand in terms of?
I love America. Like anytime America gets up and goes and like is going to compete, right? So, my second favorite to watch would be soccer. United States women's soccer team and men's soccer team. Love them.
Hell yeah.
I love basketball. Problem is, I don't have a team since Michael Jordan was kicked out of the Bulls team. So I grew up though watching Michael Jordan, and then I'd go outside, like I said, little fat kid, and I thought I was moving so great and flying and stuff. That guy inspired me, man.
Like Space Jam, man. You were Space Jam, like
that guy was awesome, man. So I loved a few teams since Jordan. I loved LeBron for a long time, but I'm not a fan of LeBron at all anymore. And but I've been watching the NBA final or playoffs, and I've been enjoying it. It's been cool.
Yeah, nice.
To see the Suns made it. Nobody was expecting that. Kind of going for the underdogs. So I'm hoping Suns and the Hawks. That'd be fun to see.
I always like an underdog story, so always open for that. And I know. So you mentioned Green Bay Packers fan. Are you going to be watching golf next week?
With Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady?
Yeah, they're going.
I'm not sure how I feel about Aaron Rodgers right now, man. I'm a little.
Oh, that's right. There's a lot of.
I'm a little bit disappointed with him, but I kind of understand where he's coming from. I probably will, though. I probably will.
Nice. All right, let's see. Let's go to. We got to talk a little bit about music because I know that you have a love and passion for music, and I learned a lot of it from when you were interviewed by Hialeah on his show.
Oh, yeah, that was such a good show.
Dude, it was so much fun. And so many of your stories, like, and for that show, because they go longer, like it's a perfect show to like be able to break down a lot of those details of those stories. Because if you guys haven't seen that, I should put a link in the description for that show because that's a lot of fun, and they're still going at it. Yeah, but you had shared some really cool things, and especially with family and stuff like that. But so with music in general, you know, I know this answer to a degree, anyways. But what's your favorite genre of music, and who's your favorite band of all time, if you have one, or artist?
My favorite genre of music, easy, English 80s. Retro, right? Like synth pop. Like I love that stuff so much. When you get in my car, that's what's playing all the time. You look at my Amazon account, that's what's going on, right? My favorite band of all time is The Cure. I absolutely love The Cure. I love Morrissey and the Smiths and Depeche Mode. Those are like my trinity up there.
Yep.
But yeah, The Cure. Whew, I love The Cure, man.
So I didn't start listening to I knew some hits from The Cure, you know, just growing up, but I never really got into them. And once I heard your interview, I went and just started listening to a bunch of their albums. and literally just
No
started.
way.
Yeah, dude, it's great stuff. It's great, and I've never taken the time to do that. Yeah, no, I mean, you and Hialeah, like you guys, the way you guys were connecting on it too, like I'm like, man, these guys are really into this stuff, and you guys, you knew your stuff, so I'm like, well, I'm open to all types of genres. I'm always open to all types of music, so I'm like, well, let's give it a shot. So I started listening to that, and that's why I had to throw one Cure song in there when I tagged you.
Yes, dude, I loved
Friday.
it.
I was like, perfect. So
I heard it, and I was like,
yeah.
Did you find any songs that you fell in love with, man? Or
oh god, I don't think I know the name of the song at the moment. It's on the same album as Friday. That one I listened to the most, that album out of any, at least as of right now. I still need to give some a shot. I have a rule with music where I have to listen to the album from front to back, and I have to listen to it 7 times before I actually make like an assessment.
That's good. That's good. So, I do the same exact thing, but I give it twice, and I could totally get where you're coming from. That album though, the Wish album, is my favorite Cure album of all time.
Okay, yeah. I think that was the one I first gravitated to when you mentioned that. And you know, had some of their hits and stuff like that, and got a couple in here.
Thanks, Jojo.
So very cool. You definitely turned me on to that stuff. Do you listen to other stuff too? I mean, are you open to other genres of music and things like that?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's my heart, and that's what I love, but I listen to all kinds of things. I love stuff from NSYNC and Backstreet Boys all the way to like I don't even know. The only thing I don't like, to be honest with you, is anything immoral. It's just I got kids. I'm a dad, and I like to keep it clean and straight. Totally. Or country music. I cannot,
man. They have some powerful lyrics.
Country music, man. I'm sorry.
Wow, I didn't see that one coming. Wow. Oh man.
I just killed it, didn't I? You're like, that's it. Show over. Let's go.
All right, guys, we're gonna continue the rest of the show. I blew up the wrong person.
There you go.
Oh man, no, that's fair. I will say, if you like lyrics, there are certainly some good lyrics in country music. So.
I 100% agree with you. I was just up in Utah for 2 weeks, hanging out with a friend that's a huge country fan, and she gave me her top like 20 country songs. Yeah, and had me listen to it, and she's like, listen to them each 5 times through, and then let me know. Yeah, right. And I'll agree. Like, there's so many country music songs where the lyrics are wonderful. Yeah, but I can't get over the voice and the twang. It's just not my thing, man. Sure. You know?
Yeah. No, I get it. I totally get it, man.
Take that song and have like a pop singer sing it, or throw it into the 80s mix. I will love that song, right? But just no, I just can't, man.
You just can't find it. Hey, I totally get it, man. That's so funny.
There you go, JoJo.
Where is my man Magic Lasso right now to defend this, man? Where are you, Lasso? He's a big country guy. Oh, there he is, out of the West Texas town of El Paso.
That's a good one, though. I mean, look, like, I love Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a huge Johnny Cash fan.
Yeah, that's interesting then. And he's more like original country, you know. Yeah. I mean, you know, some of the country here now is certainly more poppy. You know, depending who you're listening to or what you're listening to.
I'm down with like a little Shania Twain, a little.
See, that's some 90s, you know 90s stuff. Yeah.
Maybe some early Taylor Swift stuff's good, you know, but like, I don't know. When it gets a little too twangy, it's not my thing.
This comment right here scares me to death, and we will get to food, but we're not there yet.
You're gonna kick me off the show after that one.
But yeah, maybe we'll close out with that and see. Fantastic girl, what's going on?
Hey.
Hello. All right, let's see. Next question here. Oh, if you could travel anywhere in the world, assume no pandemic, safe, completely comfortable to travel, completely free, you and your family to go for a week somewhere that you've never been before, where do you want to go?
Japan.
Oh yeah, okay. A couple people have said that.
Absolutely adore the Japanese culture.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear the Japanese language, I feel my soul stir. I love the history of that country. I love so many things that come out of that country. I'm in college. My major was creative writing because I write books and stories for kids and stuff. And then my minor was religious studies. I would love to go to Japan and just check it all out, man.
Wow.
Every Shinto shrine, every torii, every beautiful nature. I mean, just go to the museums and look at all the old samurai swords. Like, man, I just love that country, and I want to go there one day, and I have not yet. So,
heck yeah, man.
Got to, man.
Add it to the list, man. That's cool. Very cool.
Yep.
Going back to music for a second, what was
Sure.
your best concert experience that you
Oh
can think
man.
of?
Oh man.
If you had to pick one.
Bet like that's hard. I've seen The Cure 5 times, and my first Cure concert was, I mean, just mind blowing because it's my favorite band.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this story real quick.
Yeah.
I was gonna turn 30, and my friends. I used to be in a band in high school. I sing and I play the guitar, right? So I told my friends, hey, for my 30th birthday, I want us to get together and put on a Cure show in my backyard. We're going to rent a stage. We're going to bring our everything, microphones, speakers, and we're just going to put a Cure concert on for my 30th birthday. Are you guys down? They're like, of course, dude, we're down. Let's go. So we started practicing. So we got our set list. We were just, getting it all ready to go.
Yeah.
And 2 months out for my birthday, my friend text messaged me. He's like, dude. I'm like, what? You just, dude, exclamation mark. I'm like, what? He's like, bro, The Cure is coming to El Paso. I'm like, no way, when? He's like, you'll never guess. I'm like, I have no idea. Like, when? On your birthday.
Oh, man, that's so
I'm like,
perfect.
are you kidding me right now? I'm like, all right, I called everybody, scrap the idea. We're not going to put on a show. We're going to go watch The Cure.
Yeah.
So they came to El Paso on my 30th birthday, man.
That's awesome.
And I sat there with my wife, my kids. I took them. And they had never been to El Paso before, so they put on one of the longest shows ever. There was 45 songs. There were 4 encores. They went off the stage, came back.
Whoa.
They played 2 songs they had never played live before, and I was probably the only person in the stadium singing every word.
That you knew every word.
It was magical, man.
That's
and look
awesome.
over and see my kids who have been hearing me play this when they're in their mother's womb all the way their whole life. I've been singing these songs to them. And then watching them like have this experience, it was magical, man. So
that's awesome.
That's probably my favorite concert experience ever.
Very cool. Very convenient too to land right on your birthday is amazing, man.
What
are the chances?
It was Providence, my friend.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
We got Azor's Tiger in the house. What's going on, Eric?
Hey.
We also got my man Zen Multiverse in the house. Good to see you as well. Guys, make sure that you're if you're not already subbed up to Matt, I put all his information in the description below. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. As we wrap up here, I'm going to ask you this one last question.
Okay.
And it has to do with food. So if it's if it's just you and your wife, it's a Friday night, kids are not home, and you have the option to order, get dinner. It's dinner time, or it's coming up to be dinner time. What is your go-to meal, whether it's ordering out, going out to eat, or ordering in, or cooking? What is your first thing that comes to mind as like a go-to meal?
Well, my wife and I actually go on a date night every Friday.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it's something I promised to her when I took on these new responsibilities that have taken me away from YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I knew I was going to get super busy, and I told her I will always take you out every Friday, and we've missed like one in the last like 7 months. So we're always going out Friday night. It's so much fun. If you're married, continue to date, guys.
Heck yeah.
But it's hard because my palate and her palate are so different.
Oh, interesting.
So my go-to food is same as my go-to vacation. I'm a sushi man. All day long, man. I love sushi.
Yep.
So, and I'm a sushi snob. If I walk into a sushi restaurant and I smell fish, I walk out. If they serve me something and it tastes gross, I'm not paying for it. I am a sushi snob, man.
That's great.
So I love sushi, but my wife hates sushi. She will not eat raw fish. So there's a sushi restaurant here in town. Their sushi is the bomb. And they also have Korean dishes, the bibimbap. I don't know if you've heard of the bibimbap. They have a stone bowl and they cook rice and meat in it, and it all cooks in that bowl, and they bring it out to you and it's like sizzling. She loves that. So we'll either go there, or there's this actual famous restaurant called Cattleman's here in town. It's been on like Food Network and stuff. And we'll go get a steak and a burger or something like that, man. So
nice.
Usually we're at Cattleman's or something like that.
Yeah.
But those would be my 2 go-to places to please her, or, to get my fix.
Right. I like that. I like it a lot. I like that you guys do it every Friday too. I think that's really cool. Very, very good stuff.
What's up, Donnie?
Glitter's with you there. Loving sushi. Hey, what's up, Don? Good to see you, man. Let's see. Anthony said my audio is echoing, so apologize, guys, if I'm echoing here. Hey, dude, Matt, this has been the show here. I don't have any other questions for you, man. I really appreciate you coming on board here. Before we close out, if you want to just let the people know kind of where they can find you and anything coming up. I know you're a busy guy right now and with everything going on, but I'll give you the floor here.
Yeah, first of all, man, thanks for having me on the show. It's been a blast today to just hang out, talk, and reminisce. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. I'm not really on YouTube much. I have videos coming out maybe once a month or whatever. I'm real busy with other things in life that have taken me away. But I'll say this. I hate pizza.
I was just going to say, we need to hear this.
People are asking. I despise pizza. I will never order it. If I didn't have to eat it again for the rest of my life, I'd be totally fine with it. Which is wild, I know.
Who do I have on my channel?
But, no, I mean, guys, I'm going to jump back through the chat and sub everybody up. There's a lot of people here that I'm not familiar with, and I used to know everyone in this community.
Nice.
But it's been a while, so I'm going to sub you up. Good luck to everybody in what you're doing. Just remember, do it because you love it, and be genuine. Check me out. I'm always posting on Instagram, boywhohad7_talks_comics. I know it's long. And thank you for hanging out. And thanks. It's so good to see so many friends, too, because there are a lot of people I do know. But that's it, man. I appreciate you, and I'm real grateful.
Absolutely, man. Well said and well put, man. I'm glad to have this opportunity to hang out with you, man, because it's been a long time coming, and I'm glad we were able to kind of schedule this and keep doing your thing, man. Wherever life takes you, you're an inspiration, dude. And I know that
thank you.
If whether you're touching people in the comic book community or you're helping other people just in the world, really inspired by your stories and things that you've shared in the past, and just love your attitude on life, man. So keep being you for sure.
Thank you so much, brother. Really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Oh, and if you guys didn't know, Matt is actually going to be over on Kevin's channel in about 10 minutes. So make sure you go check that out. Super Power Review. Shout out to Kevin. A really fun show. And I know you'll have a good time there. I was on it a couple times with John and Rod. It was a good time. So I know you'll have a good time there. I'll have to swing over at the chat for a little bit before my girlfriend and I are actually having a little date night ourselves here coming up. But so appreciate everybody hanging out. It's always a good time here. I'll be back again next week. What are we on? The July 3rd. Man, I can't believe it's July already. A reminder too, Monday I will have my my announcement video for my 750 subscriber giveaway. So if you guys aren't entered that already, make sure you do so. And I'll be live on Monday to kind of give out a couple, fun books, and we'll have a good time just hanging out. So anybody that's free, appreciate you guys. And maybe I'll have some people jump on with me as I do that. Nice. Other than that, I think I just hope everybody has a happy 4th of July if you're here in the States. Otherwise, have just a great weekend in general, and everybody stay healthy, stay happy, and stay safe. So till next time, we'll talk to you guys.